Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Greg, and today we're gonna talk about a mod you can do to fix some common problems with your EDC Key Organizer. Okay, first of all, if you like the videos on the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have comments and suggestions, please feel free to type them into the comment section. If you've been into EDC, most likely you own one of these or at least have seen these all over the place. If you Google search EDC Key Organizers, these would be one of the first things that would come out. Alright, so why do you use an EDC Key Organizer in the first place? For me, I love using these because first of all, they're cool, and they turn your keys into a fold-out multi-tool style holder, right? But most of all, what they do is to prevent sounding the alarm. So they prevent your keys from jingling around when they're hanging on your bag, your belt, or even in your pocket. But these things have a basic problem. Before that, let's look into the parts of the EDC Key Organizer. Basically, all of the EDC Key Organizers are similar. They have basically the same parts. Okay, maybe the plates have different designs, but they basically do the same thing. So you have two plates, okay, the front and the back, that are connected by two of these barrel screws or Chicago screws, and your keys are inserted into these barrel screws. So these two are my favorite EDC Key Organizers. This one, okay, I think this is by EDC Gear, because I like this because it's super slim, and I like this one because it has a pocket clip. As I said, the basic problem is in the design itself. It uses these Chicago screws, okay? And what you do with them is you insert your keys, alright, like that. And as you can see, the Chicago screws don't adjust, okay? They don't adjust in length, so your keys move around. To solve that, the package or your key organizer includes several pieces of these. These are rubber O-rings that you can insert as spacers. They also provide these things. These are metal washers. And if you saw that, that is one of the major problems with these things. The O-rings and the washers are so small, all right? You can't imagine how many times I had to pick up the washers and the O-rings during the making of this video. So basically, you have to fill up the space with the spacers, fill up the space with the spacers, right? Or you get a shorter Chicago screw and just fill in the rest with the spacer. Okay, so it takes some fiddling around, but when you get it assembled, it's actually okay. But the problems don't stop there. Okay, because the Chicago screw is rigid. Okay, everything in this package is rigid. Okay, when you turn the key over and over and over again, what it tends to do is to loosen the Chicago screw. Okay, and eventually the screw will pop out. The first time that will happen to you, you will now reassemble it, and occasionally you'll check, is the screw loose? Is the screw loose? You'll tighten it. It takes time, and it's actually really annoying. So that's my basic problem with these things. So I thought of a mod to solve the problem with the Chicago screw. And the solution to the Chicago screw is to get rid of it altogether. Okay, to do this mod, you need your EDC Key Organizer, okay, the 2 plates. You can throw away the Chicago screws, okay? If you got these O-rings and washers, you can use them if you want, okay? And you can get one of these. This is a bungee cord, okay, or a shock cord, and I bought some of these to repair my tent poles when they break, okay? Because sometimes the shock cord inside the tent poles break, and you need extra shock cord to fix them up. So I got them in orange, and I got a roll also in black. Okay, for this mod, you're gonna use your EDC Key Organizer and 4 of the rubber O-rings that came with it. So this is optional, you can use it or not use it. Okay, of course, your set of keys. You'll need 1 foot to 1.5 foot of bungee cord. You'll need scissors to cut the bungee cord, and your lighter to sear off the ends so it doesn't fray. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna cut off 1.5 foot of the bungee cord. So I'm gonna cut it over here. So you have your bungee cord. Let me remove that. So this is all we need now. You fold your bungee cord in half. Just tie a simple overhand knot at the end. Okay. You get your key organizer, remove the Chicago screws, okay, we just need the 2 plates. Okay, and then from the back, okay, we're gonna insert the bungee cord into the first plate. Alright, and then you can thread in one of the rubber washers, the O-ring. Okay, and then you can start putting in your keys. We're gonna thread in 2 on this side. Okay, and then another O-ring. and then thread it through the front plate. Okay. So it will look like this on one side. Okay. And then thread it through the other end. And then, as you can see, it won't fall off anymore. Okay. Thread in another O-ring and thread in the rest of your keys. So when you thread in your keys, they have to face all in the same direction. So when you close them, they close in on each other. Okay? Okay, so this, let's put in the last O-ring. Okay, so get into that plate. Okay. So on this end, you can tie a knot. Just a simple overhand knot. Okay. And then you pull it through. For this kind of EDC key organizer, you see there's a hole on the top of the plate for clipping into a carabiner or putting in a split ring. You can actually just put in a split ring and not need an overhand knot over here. But just to be more secure, I tend to put an overhand knot on this end. Okay, so pull it snug, make sure it's all flat, and then pull it on the other end, and then make another knot here. You can actually cut here already, but I tend to like to have a long end sticking out. You can actually weave this or braid it into any pattern that you usually do with your paracord. Okay, so you have your key organizer that doesn't use the Chicago screws, and no screws will pop out. Okay, and it is always snug, doesn't jingle. You can put a split ring here, and if you need to add keys, just remove either this knot or these two knots, and you can thread in more keys on either side. And some of you might think, won't the keys cut into the bungee cord? Well, maybe eventually, but you have to remember the bungee cord has an inner core of elastic fibers, and there's this elastic outer mantle on it that's more or less abrasion resistant. And even if you cut one of these strands, because it's knotted on both sides. Even if you cut one strand, there's still one strand that will be holding the entire thing together. And this can now accommodate no matter how many keys you actually have. Alright, so it can be that thick or just this thick. So, did you like that mod? We turned our jingly keys into an organized piece of kit that doesn't deal with the problems of the regular key organizer, like these pesky Chicago screws. Okay? And you just need your key organizer and some bungee cord. I've been using this setup for some time now, and I absolutely love this thing, and it really works for me. So you gotta try this out, and tell me what you think in the comment section. Okay, if you have other comments, suggestions on how we can improve the key organizer, let me know. Okay, I would love to try that out too. So see you around in the next video. Cheers!